From all the main consumer behavior trends identified by the ones who study such contemporaries, nostalgia shows up nowadays at a privileged spot when it comes to its capacity of establishing emotional connections within the brands and its customers. But before we dive into the marketing subject, let's take a quick overlook at the nostalgia itself. The feeling of nostalgia, which evokes memories of the past, occurs in all individuals, influencing how they relate to other people, objects, and services. It is a term of Greek origin, composed of the words nostos, which means return, home, and algos, meaning pain, distress. It also describes a yearning for an idealized past. It was first mentioned in the clinical psychology literature to describe a disease, a form of depression or melancholy caused by homesickness, especially in times of war, reflecting the feelings of soldiers during long periods of absence. The past is a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. Ritual thus combines the best of the past and the best of the present into an attractive marketing package. Into a marketing strategy approach, nostalgia consists on tapping into the value of sentimentalism to provide exhausted, troubled consumers with emotional escapism. A research conducted by Holbrook and Schindler back in 1991 found that some individuals are more prone to nostalgia than others. The author considered people close in age, the tendency to be more nostalgic, as well as potential aspects of each character related to psychographic features, lifestyle, or personal characteristics. When combined with nostalgic effects of age, there are individual differences related to the propensity for nostalgia. When consumers are prone to feeling nostalgic, they tend to evaluate products from other generations more positively, which reinforces the idea that the valuation differences cannot be solely linked to the tastes or individual cultural aspects, but also to individuals' readiness to feel nostalgic. One of the most striking things about the contemporary consumer culture is the overwhelming desire for authenticity, as spotted on the article Sell Me the Old Story. On a fast-paced universe, where change is the only norm, the revival of traditions shows up as a mechanism to reestablish the sensation of security and comfort of another pastimes. Furthermore, the revival is also a powerful statement on a cultural perspective, since it's beyond the field of recalling memories from time to time, but actually everlasting them as heritage habits, crossing generations, and therefore history. Portugal is a creative birthplace with a lot of potential when it comes to nostalgia. There's a vast number of brands in a huge variety of sectors, which carries on its DNA the revival and maintaining-ship of old values that goes beyond the longevity subject. At last, we are pleased to introduce that the two brands chosen to be investigated here as case studies show very different business models, however, sharing a very similar aura. It was in 1925 that a certain pharmaceutic developed in Lisbon a kind of miracle balm, whose recipes were originally composed with natural ingredients in his own lab. One of the most famous products is the facial cream. Its original formula hasn't been changed since its inception in 1925. The packaging keeps the 20 Art Deco's visual appeal, and still, many of the processes at the factory are at least half man-crafted, if not completely. Here in Lisbon, at Campo das Cebolas, Benamôr has got its immersion channel to its universe. It's a flagship store where all the stories about heritage are told to the customer who walks in. In other words, it's a physical tool for storytelling. The brand identity is printed on every single tile in here.
Esse aqui é o primeiro produto da marca, ele tem 93 anos. Aliás, ambos são os primeiros produtos da marca. Este é o mais importante, é um creme de rosto. Ele ajuda a curar manchas de sol, marcas de acne, rosácea, primeiras rugas e apenas, por exemplo, para quem está a iniciar um creme ou mesmo para a nossa avó que quer pôr um creme como creme hidratante. Portanto, ele é muito importante, ele tem a mesma fórmula há 93 anos, só retiramos os parabenos, é um produto quase natural, é 98%. Sim. Exatamente. Rosa Amélie é homenagem à nossa rainha Dona Amélia. Esta rainha usou este creme durante 10 anos. Esta rainha teve alguns problemas em Portugal, no qual teve que fugir para a França. E a Benamôr, como ela era cliente fixa, continuou a enviar-lhe este produto para ela continuar a usar até à sua morte. Quando ela faleceu, a marca então pondera esta homenagem a ela e faz a linha completa de Rosa Amélie. Nós temos packets na loja, temos vários cofres e este é o único que não entra, é à parte. Mas Rosa Amélie é uma gama exclusiva. O jacarandá é uma das árvores mais emblemáticas da zona de Lisboa. Então, não é a nossa origem, mas é uma das coisas que nós somos mais reconhecidos. Todo turista sabe que nós temos um jacarandá em Lisboa. Portanto, foi uma das coisas mais importantes que nos fez investir num jacarandá e não numa lavanda, por exemplo. Há uma das partes da história da loja mais bonita e que atrai todo o público, seja estrangeiro ou português. A loja tem um chão antigo. Esta loja é uma réplica da cozinha antiga do boticário, o misterioso boticário que inventou a marca. Nesta altura, há 93 anos atrás, o boticário, para fazer as caixas, inspirou-se no chão dele, que é o mesmo que nós usamos na loja. Portanto, o chão está ligado a todas as nossas caixas que nós temos na loja. Conta um pouco a nossa história. O chão é o antigo, foi muito difícil de encontrar para a loja e as caixas têm a mesma embalagem para mostrar ao cliente que a nossa história, apesar de ter imensos anos, as receitas são as mesmas e as caixas também.
And it's in a virtual world that Josefinas establish their customer relationships. Whenever it comes to communication, choose of assets, and most importantly here, selling. It's all online available. The stories, the processes, the inspirational content, the brand engagement, it's all there.
However, here's a curiosity. The Josefinas brand did not despise the statement power of a physical place for itself, but it just has a different approach about it. It was a project.
Targeting the brand's debut and establishment on an international scenario, the flagship store in New York was a short-time project that lasted for almost 2 years and resulted on a wide net over North American market, which represents nowadays at least 37% of their main sales. The word was spread and the doors were closed. So now they only operate online and the visual choice is surrounded by other elements that validate its authenticity and communicate their nostalgic values by an impeccable video storytelling and a serious social engagement ethic. As investigation framed the article teaching old brands new tricks, retro branding and the revival of brand meaning, reading by the brilliant Professor Brown and its colleagues proposes 4 main relevant themes of analysis on retro marketing and contemporary managing for brands that actually work based on the nostalgia concept. Therefore, the elements that synthesize this concept which composes the brand meaning are as follows: allegory, Arcadia, aura, and untimely. The main discussion bumps at the validation of the authenticity of the proposals all the time. The revival of traditions shows up as a complex strategy, but also as a promising opportunity. Therefore, the managing of the brand meanings must be a meticulous construction task. The savoir-faire and the craftsmanship spread the local culture because of the original artistic jobs they bring along. The pioneer profile and the social engagement in causes that goes beyond the products are the true validators for the authenticity here. Based on that idea, longevity cannot be considered as an authenticating factor, but only an increasing value that orbits all around it like a satellite. When it comes to the construction of the brand narratives, both brands show similar characteristics, just like deep involvement with local culture and its upkeep, maintenance of craftsmanship works, avant-garde strategy profiles, and pioneer positioning. The strongest markets are the international ones. Full integration on the contemporary communication platforms and social networks. Another disparity between them is obviously about the marketing and experience. Benamôr stands still on the tangibility of their products, which is completely understandable since they are very rooted to human basic senses, just like touch and smell. Josefinas, on the other side, choose to put up their biggest efforts on the online channels. The www is their home and where they connect with the customer. But keeping still the possibility of customization and validating their identity by storytelling all at the same platform, they still kept in mind the major projection that a flagship store could achieve. Their strategy was adapted and used as a temporary tool. As you could all see, the nostalgia subject is a full plate. So if you're interested as me, you can read the full study soon available at the Coimbra University MBA archive files.